My name is Akin Akeredoluwale. I'm the MD of Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. If you are interested in gold, I have an update for you today. Gold is now being listed on our exchange. If you're someone that loves gold and wants to trade in gold, this video is for you. You see, the listing of the gold coins on the floor of the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange in the year 2022 was a defining moment for Nigeria capital market, because that was for the first time we were seeing physical gold, not just being traded informally and or held privately, but we now had a formally structured arrangement where gold could be traded in a regulated environment, made more of an investable asset through which a commodities exchange will trade it through commodity brokers. At the end of the day, this changed the narrative around solid minerals from being an extractive ecosystem alone and informal to being a credible asset class that can go alongside the equities market, the fixed income market, and the structured products that investors and investment community could participate in, and also it created an opportunity for an alternative asset class that Nigerians could play into. This demonstrated that Nigeria's solid minerals was, when properly refined, certified that we have a warehouse system and regulated, can meet them international standards. And of course, we would not have done it without the ISA 2025 now, that gives power to the warehouse receipts now, that the warehouses have now become tradable, and then it also gives a definition to what a warehouse receipt could be. It could be a safekeeping receipt from a vault, which is for solid mineral like gold and all that. And then it also gives space for warehouse gold out buildings, it is for agriculture. And then they also define warehouses also could be for liquids like petroleum liquids and all that. And these are things that we could easily derive from the ISA 2025 that was signed up. And that's why now we now have a structured trade that can take place in the gold space. And so for the capital market, it expanded the investment universe and proved that commodities, particularly precious metals like gold, can be integrated transparently into our financial system. So it also strengthened confidence that Nigeria's market and the capital market can now be built up with an in-depth position whereby non-oil assets also can be traded and then can be issued in our ecosystem to create additional assets to which an investment banking space can participate in, investors, the commodity brokers, and Nigerians as a whole participating. Gold is gold anywhere in the world. That's the first thing. And easily, without talking about any rocket science, you will know that gold anywhere, whether in Nigeria, will be mirroring the price of gold in the local, in the international space. So the appreciation has been very, very significant, like in the international space. And this clearly demonstrates that the value of gold as a long-term asset is very, very, very good. So when we started with the 50 grams of a gold coin, which was first listed on the exchange in 2022. And at that time, it was trading at 42,500 per gram. But today, that same gold is trading at about 140,000 per gram. That represents threefold increase in value of the asset over that period, and that is over like 200% returns on investment. This increase was driven by gold prices in international space, and of course, gold generally the pricing, the currency dynamics also that happens, that goes along with gold, and increased demand for the safe haven assets. When you look at the macroeconomic space, the global space, in the international space, a lot of assets are now moving and gravitating more towards more stable assets like gold, and that's happening in the global space. And Nigeria is not excluded from that particular macro space, whereby people are now moving towards a safer haven, and that's why we're seeing a more focused segment whereby Nigerians and investors are moving towards gold, also in Nigeria also. And the demand have been very, very high for this particular asset class in Nigeria. The performance of gold coin on our exchange, has been able to validate the fact that it is a hedging instrument, that you can use it hedging against inflation and currency risks at any point in time. And this just goes to reinforce the structured gold instruments like gold belong to a diversified investment portfolio, whereby easily, if you add it into your portfolio asset class, you know that you'll have a safe haven to be able to hedge against inflation, against currency risk, and you have more stability in your portfolio, so that effectively, if there are some movements and then some fluctuation in the total asset space, the gold asset class will stabilize your position, the position of your asset class, and the position of your portfolio in a very, very positive way. Okay, I think that the word is not that we were instrumental. It is more about advocacy. And we are talking about a greenfield whereby we are building a new ecosystem, and we're looking at a paradigm shift whereby people start looking at other asset classes. And what we did was we pitched our position to the commission, that's the regulator, the Securities and Exchange Commission. We pitched our position PENCOM. Then we pitched to even the operators in that space, some PFAs and some other institutions, that gold is an asset class that globally everybody is always looking at it as a hedging instrument. And we believe so much that the asset classes that the pension funds have now, we're talking about almost 30 trillion assets under management, and we see that like more like a concentrated risk, whereby a better part of the portfolio weighs too much towards fixed income from federal government instruments and all that. And we believe that maybe there should have been a diversified position whereby gold as an asset class can be used to diversify their portfolios, and also they can also use it to hedge against inflation. So the directive was very, very extremely important, because the pension assets, as we all know, are long-term assets, and gold is fundamentally the long-term defensive assets. This will allow the pension fund to invest, and on gold as listed on a regulated exchange, and this will introduce diversification to their portfolio, and then the risk mitigation for their portfolios, and portfolio stabilities for the contributors also in the ecosystem. And like I mentioned earlier, referring to the ISA 2025, the instruction is that the investment should be instruments listed on a recognized and registered commodities exchange. It's just not an asset class that comes from open from anywhere. It should be the ones that's under a regulated environment, under the Securities and Exchange Commission, and also listed on the commodities exchange that's recognized by SEC. And we at Lcfe, we played a strong advocacy, like I mentioned earlier, and then we played also technical role by demonstrating that gold traded on any exchange meets the standards. And might look at as if, okay, this is an asset class that we want to put investors' monies into, our contributors' money into, and then they know that the moment it's listed on the commodities exchange registered by SEC, there will be an automatic regulatory oversight there. There will be secure custody, and then there will be transparent pricing, and of course you're going to have a verifiable physical trading platform for you to be able to buy from at any point in time. So we engage the regulators, provided market structure insights to them, and showed them that gold can be institutionalized without compromising the safety of the gold, or the governance structure that will back up the gold that's been traded there. And the PENCOM decision validates that investing in gold works and signals confidence in the exchanges-led commodities framework, which has been approved by the Securities and Exchange Commission. And I'm sure that gradually, for the early comers, from the ones that are going to have a head start, they'll be able to start engaging like the other pension funds and investors all over the world. Every country that is creating gold as an asset class, as a reserve currency, and all that. I don't see any reason why the largest economies in Africa that we are not yet investing in gold, considering the fact that we even produce gold in Nigeria, and then we have large deposits of gold in Nigeria. Some of it should be staying back in our country. The directive was significantly a welcome development, and it significantly deepened the market, and to deepen the market more, because it will introduce a new class of long-term institutional asset that institutional investors that are long-term in nature will be able to focus on. And also with the pension funds coming in, you'll be looking at more of like liquidity in that space, and the price stability in that space, and of course the market confidence, because it means that for the ones that are going to do the early mover advantage, they'll be able to buy. There'll be space for some little arbitrage at the beginning, and then there'll be adjustment to the global price in full, particularly for the ones that are in alliance with the world-class standards that is being traded. And the ones that we're looking at now, the 1 kilogram gold, a good delivery that's going to be in the market. So we're going to have a lot of participation, liquidity, and there'll be more confidence in that space. For us at Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, what it means for us, it means increased product development for us, stronger issuer participation, and higher standards across custody, reporting, and risk management. This will also encourage miners and refiners to formalize their operations, because they will now have a clear path to offtake in the ecosystem, from production to the institutional capital that will be doing the offtake from them. So ultimately, what we see is that it will accelerate our mandate using commodities to build the real economy of Nigeria, and to be able to meet up with the president's aspiration of us building a $1 trillion economy in Nigeria. And the target for 2026 by the DG of SEC, Dr. Agama, is that the market capitalization for 2026 by the year end should be about 200 trillion. And I know that if we're going to do that, we're going to be looking at, apart from the fixed income, the equities market, the easiest part to that is the commodities market, because it is a high turnover based ecosystem, particularly for things like gold as an asset class. We are pleased to announce, and I'm announcing today as the MD of Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, because we have received from the Securities and Exchange Commission a letter of no objection from them to list a new gold instrument on our exchange, and that's the 1 kilogram good delivery gold bars that are now tradable on the exchange. And we have just concluded all the arrangements. The technology part has been done, the links to the various stakeholders, the depository has been done, the links to the custodians have been done, and now we are pleased to announce that now people can trade up to 1 kilogram of gold bars at any point in time on the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. This new instrument is going to be listed by an institution that we have verified. We've done all the required verification and all that. The institution is called Kian Smith. Kian Smith has been around, they've been trading gold, and they have been verified as a very credible institution that will be trading 1 kilogram gold bars on the exchange in multiples from now upwards. These are going to be in sports contract, but the sports contract are going to be backed by the standards to which you get in the London bullion market, also in Nigeria compliant level. And we are talking about these are investment grade physical gold bars refined to international standards that people will be able to trade on. And if they decide that they want to take delivery, they can take deliveries. And if they decide to move the asset from one custodian or one vault to the other, they will be at liberty to be able to move it. This listing will provide investors with access to sports gold and exposure through a regulated, which is us, commodities platform, which we are supported by accepted equally and the quantity and quality specifications that are in line with the global structure. And we're talking about the secure custody also, arrangement and transparent pricing. This development, I believe, is going to strengthen Nigeria's formal gold market by expanding the range of internationally standardized gold trades that we are going to be having in Nigeria, and it is also going to be available to the domestic market and institutional investors. So while reinforcing confidence also in the market, we're going to be reinforcing confidence also in the traded precious metals in Nigeria and also in the Nigerian capital market. And for this, by the time we finish this, I'm sure that you know that we will be moving towards silver, we'll be moving toward other asset classes also that are of very good quality and of very good quantity and have residual value and have good value and stable, and been able to have track record in the last 40 years as instruments that are, hedging instruments for our markets, and we can use it as long-term investments for the pension funds to be able to participate in and to be able to cover and protect the contributors' assets against inflation most of the time and currency fluctuation. Well, I think it's very, very clear that potential investors should begin by engaging their commodity brokers, their commodity registered brokers, and then we have the individual brokers also. You have the asset managers too. They understand how gold is traded within this ecosystem and how they can, infuse this into their portfolio strategy to diversify their portfolio for the next incoming year, and to see that their instruments that they can use in stabilizing and hedging against inflation there. And from the institutional investors side, they should review their investment guidelines and allocation asset allocation framework to understand how gold works and how it will work in their own portfolio strategy. And also for institutional investors, they should review their guidelines like I mentioned earlier, and then they should focus more on the long-term value and preservation of their assets than short-term speculations, which of course is always prone to a lot of volatility there. But most importantly, investors should recognize that this is not just about having or buying gold. It is about participating in the regulated, transparent market that aligns Nigeria's mineral wealth with the capital market growth and also aligns with the renewed agenda of the federal government of Nigeria in our move towards creating a $1 trillion economy. At the same time, in alignment with our regulator SEC's aspiration for 2026 for us to be able to move towards a 200 trillion market capitalization combined from the equities market with the fixed income market and the commodities market. We have that size of market. All we're talking about is for us to be able to move some of it into gold, for us to be able to create liquidity, create stabilization, create hedging instruments, and build a bigger capital market, bigger future for the economy of Nigeria. I think the major thing I would like to say is that I want to give kudos to Kian Smith for them coming up with this arrangement and fulfilling all righteousness. I heard that they've just built 3 warehouses at near the airport, and they're looking at a refinery very soon. This is the first move advantage for people to understand the future of Nigeria, and for us to be able to see that there are other asset classes in Nigeria that we can use in escalating and growing our economy in a very, very fast way. And I'm also happy that it's coming from an institution that's local in Nigeria that's taking these feats and trying to grow this environment. I'm also very, very happy that the new DG of PENCOM immediately put it into place to give approval that these asset classes that are in the commodity space, in alliance with the ISA 2025, the pension funds should start participating in it, and there was a review of that guidelines. I want to say a very, very big thank you. And of course, finally, the regulators of SEC that has been able to comply with the 10-year master plan, the capital market, and they've started coming up with another master plan to take it to the next level, apart from implementation, whereby our aspirations into the future, with the evolution of the total market, global markets, that we are adjusting our markets, adjusting our country, our economy, to be able to make growth in alignment with the new realities that we have in the future, including technology, artificial intelligence, and our capacity to be able to look at the assets that we have by way of solid minerals in Nigeria, and we grow it very, very quickly. Lastly, I also appreciate the fact that Kian Smith has been able to put in place an arrangement whereby the demography of the upcoming youths also will be able to participate in this particular ecosystem, for them to be able to invest in gold and be able to participate at different levels, from tokenization level, to retail level, and for them to participate at the 1 kilogram gold level for the institutional investors. Those are the exciting things I see here, and I will see this manifesting in 2026 in a very, very big way.